And you're welcome back. Earlier, we shared with you a report that was filed in by our correspondent following a situation at the Federal College of Education in Asaba, which is yet another example of the growing security challenges affecting educational institutions in Nigeria, with students demanding protection and school authorities calling for urgent intervention. And so to go in depth into the discussion, we're joined by two guests. First is Austin Azu, who filed in the report. Austin, thank you so much for joining us. Also joining us is Professor Josephine Anene-Okakwa. She is the provost of the college. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you so much for joining us. Austin, let me start with you and just ask really just your account of just being there. Were you able to inspect the school when you spoke to the students? What was, their pulse? We saw the videos, we saw their injuries, but give us a sense of what really happened.
Of course, the Federal College of Education, Technical Asaba, has been experiencing serious varies of insecurity in the past few years. And just about a few days ago, the students felt they could no longer control it. They have to express themselves, and they have to hit the premises of the college to, demonstrate. Of course, that's attracted some attention. It caught our attention as journalists. Of course, we have to quickly go into the area and find out what is actually their pains. From the report we just heard, we heard some of their pains. But however, we went further to find out what was alleged to be the root cause of the insecurity, which the professor and the provost of the college equally told us. After the protest, we went to our office to interview her. Of course, she told us so many issues regarding the issue of land grabbing. That is very outstanding from what she said. And of course, we have conducted around the perimeter fence, and we discovered that, yes, the fence has been broken down. And not only that, we have some individuals who have decided to occupy middle of the land. So obviously, it means that the premises is porous. It gives room for all kinds of persons to enter into the school, and of course, you know what it means. And these students, they have their hostels at the school, and they have their lecture halls, and so on and so forth. So it become a serious challenge. And obviously, we drove to a point whereby I have to tell the driver, please, we have to return, because from the signals we saw along the road, of course, the place is not really safe. Imagine how it's going to look like in the night. So it becomes a really serious challenge for the students of the college. However, from what you said so far, they are still appealing to the federal governments and to the state governments to intervene so that the students and the staff will be able to, go about their lawful duties. And of course, when security is not guaranteed, what will become the fate of the students, and of course the lecturers as well. So these are the things we discovered during our reports.
Professor, I'd like to come to you and ask, just giving, what our reporter has reiterated, describe the security situation at the college, and how long has these attacks been happening?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You see, before I came on board, there has been small, stealing and the rest of them. But it became obvious about 2 years ago. When we come to school, I will go around, you will see some part of the fence pulled down. We'll be wondering who is doing this, you understand? We'll be going around, do you come another time, another part of the fence will be pulled down. At a point, we had a gate, massive gate at the back of the school. The gate was pulled out, the fence pulled down. So late 2003, they brought to my attention that there's one Obueshofili Modi bulldozing the place, destroying the fence. I said, for what? That they are selling the land. And they had armed thugs, policemen, everybody inside there. I now called him, I said, because I know him. I said, Obueshofili, what are you doing there? He said, what are you doing there? Stop that thing you are doing. This is Federal College of Education land, for God's sake. Why are you pulling down our fences and everywhere, destroying our economic crop, destroying students' farm? He started laughing and he laughed at me. Maybe because I'm a woman. We called we wrote a petition to the area command. They invited us. Even in spite of that, he was still working. I was in Abuja. They called me that this man is still working. I called the area command. I said, this man is still working there. Please send your men to stop him. At least let us know what is happening. The man kept on working until I wrote a petition to Inspector General of Police. You understand? I wrote. And they invited us. He refused to come initially. So they came down with us to inspect what is happening. They met workers there. He ran away. The man that bought the land, they said it's Big C. They absconded. So they picked the two men from there and went to Abuja and kept them until they see the perpetrators. They didn't come. So after some time, they invited me back at Abuja. I came. They pleaded with me that they should release these men, that they are not the people who are selling the land. They were just workers. They met there. So I obliged. And they now called the man that if he doesn't come, they will declare him wanted. And he appeared. And he was made to sign an undertaking. I wouldn't know what he told them. Fashola said, this one said,
Professor,
this one said. I said, bring documents.
Professor,
Yes, my dear.
you've just given us an insight into exactly what's been happening regarding the porousness of the university environment.
The opening of the pulling down of the fence that made the whole place porous.
Okay.
And herdsmen started coming inside.
Okay.
You understand? They now have free access. Anybody can enter the college anyhow.
Okay.
And you would have known the effort we made. We have been making efforts. You understand?
Now, regarding those
Even
efforts,
though the
Professor,
man is still resisting it.
regarding those efforts that you're making, what action are you getting from the authorities? Because I heard you inside of a report say that you have actually told the authorities about the situation, the security situation.
Good.
But it seems like as if there has been
I was at that point when you stopped me now.
Go ahead then.
When I wrote that petition to Inspector General, I copied the DSS, I copied my Federal Ministry of Education, I copied the Asaba of Asaba, I copied EFCC and ICPC. I escalated the problem so that anybody that can come and help us will come and help us, you understand? And he was made to sign an undertaking that he will not enter that land again. So from there, I wrote to TED Fund to help us that we need perimeter fence for the sake of staff, at least for the life safety of staff and students, you understand? And we have been following it up. In fact, they were there when I called them at TED Fund. They said, yes, I think they are making efforts to help us.
The action from the authorities, how have they been attending to this? Are they attending to it swiftly, or is it taking time?
Yes, of course. That's what I'm telling you now, that we are doing. We are not sleeping. You understand? We are not sleeping. And if the man stops now, if government stops him, they will come in. I even wrote to the governor. The governor set up a committee and sent them to go and demolish whatever they have built there. The man refused. You understand? The man refused. That has been our problem. And he's still pulling down fences as I'm talking to you now, with impunity.
All right. Professor, many thanks for that. Let me come to Austin Azu, because we're really pressed for time. Austin, I have to ask, right, in researching for this interview today, I found articles as far back as 2017, and they were all tagged insecurity in Delta, and they were all herdsmen attack. And so now from the professor's account of the security situation in the school, it boils down to land grabbing. And so is there a correlation between the two, the attacks and land grabbing, or is that more at play here? You on ground, what's really going on?
Yes, if I can get you very correctly, once the area has become so porous, of course, you give room for, kinds of, very unscrupulous elements for them to gain access into the premises. And this has become a huge concern, like you rightly pointed. In 2017, of course, I equally covered a particular insecurity outbreak in that particular college, where a student was similar incident was harassed and tortured by the suspected criminals that invaded the school that particular period. So it has become a recurring decimal, like what she rightly said, because if that particular session that has been pulled down, if that place can be raised up with a very high fence, it will be very difficult for anyone to gain entrance into the premises. And very funny enough, what we equally discovered in course of our report, we discovered that half of the land has been divided, and we saw a real estate signpost matted there. So obviously it seems that that particular land grabber has decided to be selling the land to other persons. And that particular school was established during the Bendem. And since 1985 to date, you can discover that a lot of development might have taken place. So obviously some people would like to come and settle within the school land, which is not encouraged, because we saw as well, we saw the documents of the land, we saw the hectares of the land, and equally saw the structure that has been built in that place. So that is why you discover that successive lawmaker who has gone to Abuja will always make an appeal to the federal government to upgrade the status of that school. Because if that school is upgraded to a university, for instance, more development will take place, and of course they will start building and start occupying the land. So since the land grabbers have been seeing those vacant land, that perhaps might be giving them some kind of encouragement for them to start encroaching. But of course, government has the documents of the land, and I believe at the right time government will speak and act accordingly.
Emmanuel, we must say thank you so much for taking out the time to come on here. Austin Azu, forgive me. Austin, many thanks for doing this with us. And also to you, ma'am, Professor Anene-Okakwa. Thank you so much for insight. We do hope that this has shed a light, and we do hope that the right authorities are doing what needs to be done. And also we hope that the institution is doing their best to protect the students at this time so it doesn't disrupt their education. Let's go on a short break. When we turn our focus to health. And this time, we want to sound the alarm on tuberculosis. After the break, stay with us.